Have you ever heard of the golden rule? What's the golden rule? Do unto others as they would have done unto you would have done unto you. Okay? That's a great rule, but a far better rule is the platinum rule. What is the platinum rule? Do unto others as they would want to have done unto themselves. Find out what their needs are, not what your needs are, their needs. Let me give a quick example of that. When I was at an airport in Sacramento, I'd been on the road for a week. I still had another week of travel. I was very tired. It was the weekend. I get to this rental car counter. You've been to them. You know, there are about 3 or 4 people in front of me. And I waited for my turn at the rental car counter. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And finally, about 25 minutes into it, I am at the counter. There are 2 people working the counter. They seem to be having some problems with their computers. But she was so nice. She said, "Well, welcome. Glad you're here in Sacramento. How can I help you? Do you have your ID? Oh, Mr. Kober, so glad to have you with us. Oh, yes, you're from Orlando. Do you like Orlando? You know, I've never been to Orlando. Is that nice? You like living there? Da, 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 da. She could not have been nicer, except there was one little problem. I want my car. I don't want to build a relationship that lasts forever. I don't want to be your BFF. I want to get the car. I want to get the car. I didn't say that because she's so nice, and that's pretty good for me. Because most of my kids won't even hang around me in customer service scenarios. But at any rate, I was patient. I was patient until, out of nowhere, in the last half hour, comes the manager out of a back office. And she comes out, she kind of surveys the situation, sees another 4 people in line, people at the counter. She goes to grab something. Then she turns around to go back to her office. And I say, "Wait a minute, don't you go back there." And she turns around with the most stunned look in her eyes. This is one of my problems. I'm a little too expressive. I said, "I've been waiting 25, 30 minutes, and there are still people who've got another 20 minutes ahead of them waiting. You should be out here working the counter." She starts moving toward the counter. Types a few things in. Next. Somebody comes to the counter. Business keeps going. She finally had to leave to go back and get some keys in the other room. As she left to go get those keys, the very sweet person managing my situation there at the counter, she leans in and she goes, "I'm so glad you said something about that." She's so nice. I wanted to say, "Why didn't you say something about this?" You know, I didn't. But here's the truth. She is a nice person, but she's not managing people based on their needs. She's treating everybody nice, but there are people who want their cars and they want to go. You have to manage, it's the platinum rule. You have to manage people based on their needs, not your style, not the way you do business, the way they want to do business. Okay? That is absolutely important. If you want to provide great VIP service, you are going to have to treat them as individuals and provide that based on that. The last one that I want to talk about this morning is creating magic daily. At Disney World, somebody staying on property will have some 80, 85 encounters with our cast members, employees. How many of those are really interactions as opposed to transactions? Most of them are watch your step, Next, please. 5:30 and change. But the things that stand out, the things that make the magic, are those who create the magic. Do something special for you. Okay? When somebody at the rental car company says, I'm so sorry you've waited so long. You know what? I've got a great little vehicle for you to drive. It's a great upgrade. No additional charge. You've created magic. When you have taken the time to do something special, taking a photo of the fountain, whatever it may be, handling a problem, you create magic. I do not have my wand before me today, but I shall cast a spell upon all of you. And I will grant unto all of you at this magical moment the ability to say, the ability to go and do something nice for someone else. You do not need permission to do something nice for someone else. You don't need permission. If you feel like your hand is going to get slapped for doing it, then that would be as terrible as going back to that popcorn story. You can imagine if the manager came along and said, what are you doing? Oh, well, I thought I'd take a picture of the two of them in front of the castle. That's not your job. Well, I thought, you know, creating happiness. I don't care about that happiness crap. I want you to pop box sell. Pop box sell. I got to make my $1 million quota. Okay? Can you imagine what would happen to someone who was a brand new 18-year-old employee being told that, cast member being told that? It would ruin their experience. They'd go work for Shamu or something. You don't want to do that. You want to give people permission to go create magic for others, to do something nice for others. Go do it. Take permission to do it. And watch how it changes lives of the people you come. When they publish the stories about something great happening, it's because you took permission. You just did it. You went and did it. You created the magic.